Hi, my name is Preston Miller of Miller Trailer Sales, and my son Sam is recording this for me. I want to show off this 2021 New Camp Tab 400. It's the best of the best that they've ever built. Let me show you a few reasons why. We're going to start off with the Aldi System. The Aldi System is the 2020 3020 version. And it has, this is an older unit that I have, but it looks the same. We've got a heater here that won't wake you up at night. This heater is a boiler, does the domestic hot water and the radiant heat. With the radiant heat, you've got glycol in the inner tank. You've got two electric heating elements, so you can have it on 1,000 or 2,000 watts. You have the propane injection here, so that you can run it on propane. The exhaust comes out the center, the air comes in the intake, and I'll show you that on the trailer then over there. Besides that, you have the wraparound hot water tank where water is heated by conduction. So your glycol tank has the heated glycol from either electric or propane, and you've got this tank right wrapped around it. And Circulator Pump operates to move the glycol around to the radiators, and it works silently. There is an adjustment on here. For bigger systems, they would need more flow. On this one, they turn it all the way down and then up, maybe a quarter turn at most. The hot water is made by the cold water coming in the bottom and then the hot water coming out the top through conduction, and it goes, of course, to a mixing valve because this runs as high as 177 degrees, and you need a mixing valve to drop the temperature. There are two circulator pumps because you have something called an Aldi flow system that's a hot water maker. Got about 3 gallons in here, about 3 gallons in your hot water maker, and together they will give you continuous hot water at a very high temperature, and then it drops down through a mixing valve, which you need to know how to adjust. Very simple. Lift up the bed board, make the adjustment, get it right, and then you can fasten the bed board back down. Want to go on to the Equalizer Hitch that you ordered to tow this. It'll work out really well for you because it takes stress off the car. It makes it ride a lot better when you have the Equalizer. It's better for the car. In your starter kit, you will have a 30 amp adapter that is 30 to 15, so you can plug in at home. You might have some limitations on the air conditioner if you're trying to only run on 15 amps. The lock set allows you to hook up and lock up the ball mount and the coupler to the ball mount so nobody can take off with your trailer when you're away from it in a parking lot. When you're at home or say in the campground away from your trailer, you can put this coupler on and the ball goes where the ball would normally go, and you just press down on that to put it into place. This is not a $500 lock. It will not keep the most determined thieves away, but you can add this lock. You can add a cable around your wheel to a tree or a picnic table. The more locks, the more discouragement. The $500 lock can still be melted with a torch. Also in your starter kit, you have a drinking water hose, in this case a 50-foot drinking water hose. You have the rapid dissolving toilet paper. You have the fuse kit that has all the popular fuses, all of those that are needed in this trailer for the 12-volt side. You have circuit breakers on the 120 side, of course. We'll move that aside now and we'll talk about the trailer itself. In the front here, I have one propane tank. For summertime, one propane tank is plenty. The hot water and the stove are the only thing you need it for unless you have the propane fridge. There's a lot of storage in this tub. You could put a second propane tank there. If you're doing winter camping, you'll probably want to. This would be the stabilizer jack crank. Of course, we don't want to miss the fact that we have a nice platform here. It's a Boondock edition. You have your crank down spare tire. You can use this to crank it down. They also give you a very small handle for tightening it in the up position because there's a limitation of 300 inch-pounds. If you go a whole lot tighter, you'll strip out the gears on that spare tire. This then is your stabilizer jack crank. They crank down nice and easily. A jack pad, plastic or wood underneath the jack pad would be a great idea. There's also the option of using a cordless drill to crank down your stabilizer jacks. We don't actually give this to you anymore. We have some people that have either damaged their trailer or their wrists by using a powerful drill and running it to the end. On the back especially, the drill will come up and smack the bottom of the trailer if you're not careful. But you might want to buy that. Okay, so here I want to show you the door step has a light in it. The door step light only comes on if you have your battery disconnect turned on, or if you're plugged in at the campground, then of course you have shore power and it'll light up everything that's 12 volt as well. The door itself has a very special lock. It looks like an aircraft door almost. That is the locked position. This is the open position. When you close the door, make sure you do not have it in the locked position or you will damage your striker. So we want to have it in the central position. Close the door, left to lock, right to unlock. We have the window, glass window, and we have a removable trash can so you can clean it. We have a fire extinguisher, 2 pockets for storage overhead. We've got the outdoor 120 volt outlets so you can do your coffee outside if you want. We have the Boondock Tires. In this case, your spare is not a Boondock tire. It's certainly sufficient to get you to a place that you could get service for your tire in the event you did damage one. These are 6-ply like truck tires. They're trailer tires, and it's very uncommon to get a flat. Inside this beautiful baggage door, I say beautiful because the earlier edition was made the way most RV trailers are, and it was prone to some seepage. Whereas this new trailer baggage door is totally sealed. We've got the battery disconnect inside here. Turning it counterclockwise will turn it off. Turning it clockwise will turn it on. When it's on, you can peek in there and see that it's showing green. So the green position would be the on. This would be a vent for the batteries. The air needs to be able to flow in and out for heating and cooling. In the back here, you have the other 2 stabilizer jack points, and you also have a place you can plug in a fire pit or a grill. There's a little adapter in the gift box that would go with that. This is the camera that we installed for you at your request. It's a very high quality camera. You'll enjoy that. 2 LED lights here. 3 on top for markers. These are simply reflectors. I want to point out that on both sides it has a keter rail. It's most common to put your tent on the other side where the utilities are not. You'll take out the plastic insert and leave it out. You have a choice of a tent or an awning or a visor. The bigger tents take longer to set up. They're nice once they're set up, but my favorite is actually the awning because it gives you a 7-foot section. The ends go down to the ground, a nice place to put your picnic table, set the kids' tent up somewhere else. That's my opinion. I want to show you now the Aldi System outdoor exhaust. The exhaust comes out the center, the air goes in the sides, the outside to keep that separated. and it allows you to run on propane. This would be the new Nautilus system, a matching door to the other side. And in the bottom here is where we would bring our water hose in. Simply shove it up through the bottom and then connect it with your 45-degree elbow into the water position. On the right side, I have the black tank flush. That we would just screw on, turn the faucet on at the source, and flush our black tank when we have the valve open. If you have it closed, of course, you can fill up your water tank, your black water tank, and overflow it. The Nautilus system is new and special. In this case, you have an on-off switch here that you can turn on from the pump from either inside or outside. When you turn it on outside, of course, you can flow water from the outdoor faucet. And you have hot and cold. They give you a shower nozzle. You can use it for spray, shower, soaker, whatever. We have description of where the valves should be. These 4 valves get turned different places for dry camping, which would be when you want to use water out of your tank, even in a rest area. That would be the dry camping mode. City water is probably going to be most common to you. That would be like that. But everything is all diagrammed and easy to read. These would be the low point drains, hot and cold. And thing that's best about it is that it's very easy to understand. Of course, you always want to remember to use a water pressure regulator at the supply end of your hose, because if you don't, it'll probably push the pressure relief valve off and dribble water underneath. There are exceptions to that. Some campgrounds don't have high water pressure. Many do. In order to accommodate everybody, they run their pressure up around 100 pounds. But we were in the campground at Dingman's Ferry, which is a national park, and they had low water pressure. I had to keep my water pressure regulator off of it in order to have enough. When you winterize, you're going to get a hose similar to this with an end that screws into the city water connection, and you'll be able to actually draw the antifreeze in, or you can carry water over here and draw your water in from whatever gallon tank you decide to bring with your golf cart or however you get it there. But that's a really nice feature of this Nautilus system. You can just pump it out of a tank into your trailer. That way you have control over the water that you're putting in there. Here is the back side of the air conditioner. The air conditioner has a cover. You'll use the cover whenever you're not using the trailer, just to keep bugs from going in there, wasps from building nests in. And below that we have the black and the gray. In a campground situation, you're going to be hooked up. If they have sewer on site, you'll have your hose connected, but you'll retain water or sewer or wastewater in your black water tank until you're ready to dump. You don't want to be leaving the valves open, or else you have the problem of solids laying in